There's a story we're told from the moment we're old enough to understand words. It's a foundational myth of our society, whispered by our parents, preached by our teachers, and celebrated by our heroes. It's the story of effort. It goes like this: hard work always pays off. The more you put in, the more you get out. The person who grinds the longest, who pushes the hardest, who bleeds, sweats, and sacrifices the most, that is the person who ultimately wins. In almost every field of human endeavor, this holds a powerful truth. The athlete who spends an extra hour in the gym, the musician who practices until their fingers are raw, the entrepreneur who works 18-hour days, they often see their dedication rewarded. And so, when we come to the world of trading, we bring this sacred belief with us. We arrive at the charts, ready to conquer them with the sheer force of our will. We think, if trading is hard, I will simply work harder. If others fail, it's because they didn't want it enough. I will outwork them all. We roll up our sleeves and we begin to grind. We wake up before the market opens, our faces illuminated by the glow of the screen. We watch hours of YouTube videos, consume dozens of articles, and buy courses that promise the Holy Grail. We plaster our charts with so many indicators that the price action itself becomes a distant whisper. We backtest relentlessly. We stay glued to our chairs all day, analyzing every single tick, every flicker of the market, convinced that if we just look hard enough, we'll see the future. We feel the rush of being busy, of being engaged in the work. But then, something strange happens. Despite all this monumental effort, the results don't come. Or worse, the more effort we exert, the more our account seems to bleed. We find ourselves on a hamster wheel. We work, we strive, we push, and we end up exactly where we started, only more exhausted, more frustrated, and more confused. You feel the burnout creeping in. You take a big loss, and your immediate instinct is to work even harder to win it back, which only leads to more losses. You feel trapped in a cycle of intense activity that produces nothing but anxiety. If this sounds familiar, I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to know that you are not alone, and you are not a failure. You have simply fallen for the biggest, most dangerous lie in the world of trading. The lie that more effort equals more profit. Welcome to the trading paradox. This is the profound, counterintuitive truth that the most successful traders live by, but few ever talk about. It's the idea that the path to greater, more consistent profit is often found through less action, not more. It's the realization that in the markets, you are not rewarded for striving. You are rewarded for aligning. In this video, we are going to dismantle the myth of effort. We will journey together into the heart of this paradox. You will learn why your hard work has been backfiring. You will discover the psychological traps of what I call negative effort. And you will see how concepts like analysis paralysis and overtrading are the direct result of a misplaced understanding of work. More importantly, you will be given a new blueprint, a new identity. We will explore the philosophy of less is more, and I will give you practical, actionable steps to shift your approach from one of forceful striving to one of effortless action. By the end of this, you will no longer see patience as passive waiting, but as your most powerful strategic weapon. You will learn to find satisfaction not in the noise of activity, but in the quiet confidence of discipline. This is the day you get off the hamster wheel. Let's begin. Before we can embrace a new way of operating, we must first perform a ruthless diagnosis of the old way. We have to understand why our instincts to work harder are so destructive in the trading arena. The effort you've been putting in isn't just ineffective, it's what I call negative effort. It's work that not only fails to produce positive results, but actively creates negative ones. It digs the hole deeper. Negative effort manifests in several ways, but let's explore the three most common and venomous forms. The modern world gives us a fire hose of information, and the trading world is a tsunami. At your fingertips, you have hundreds of indicators, thousands of news sources, millions of opinions on social media, and an endless stream of data. The beginner trader, armed with the belief that knowledge is power, sets out to consume it all. It starts innocently. You learn about RSI. Then you add MACD. Then Bollinger Bands. You hear about Fibonacci, Elliott Wave, and Ichimoku clouds. You open a news terminal to track global events. You follow 20 gurus on Twitter. You have 15 tabs open in your browser, each one streaming a different opinion. Your charts become a chaotic Jackson Pollock painting of lines, zones, and oscillators. You believe that if you can just gather enough information, if you can account for every single variable, you can eliminate uncertainty and predict the market's next move with perfect accuracy. But what is the actual result? You sit there, staring at a setup that looks good. Price has come to a key level. Your RSI is showing divergence. But wait, the MACD hasn't crossed yet, and a news headline just flashed that seems slightly negative. One guru is screaming buy, while another is calling for a crash. The Elliott wave count could be interpreted in two different ways. So you wait. You hesitate. You need more confirmation. The price starts to move without you. It hits the target you would have set. You missed it. A wave of frustration washes over you. An hour later, another setup appears. This time, you're determined not to miss it. But the same flood of conflicting signals paralyzes you again. This is analysis paralysis. It's the state of being so overwhelmed by information and choices that you become incapable of making any choice at all. Your attempt to gain total certainty has created total inaction. The effort you poured into research, into adding more tools, into absorbing more opinions, has become a cage. You've become a librarian of market data who never actually reads, or in our case, trades a single book. You're so busy preparing to be right that you never give yourself the chance to be profitable. The irony is brutal. Your quest for the perfect decision has led to no decision, which in trading is often the worst decision of all. The immense effort of analysis has produced a net result of 0, minus the emotional cost of regret and frustration. Let's be honest. Staring at a chart where nothing is happening is boring. Our brains are wired for stimulation, for action, for feedback. When we sit down on our desk, we feel an internal pressure to do something. We've allocated this time for trading. And in our minds, trading means clicking buttons. It means being in a position. This psychological need to feel productive is one of the most subtle and dangerous traps in the market. You see a small, insignificant wiggle in the price action, and your mind starts inventing a narrative. Oh, that looks like it might be a breakout. It's not my A-plus setup, but maybe I can just scalp a few points. You enter the trade. It immediately goes against you. You stop out for a small loss. Annoying, but no big deal. Then the market continues to be slow. The boredom intensifies. The feeling of uselessness grows. You start widening your criteria. You look at different time frames, different assets you don't normally trade. You're hunting. You're desperate for the dopamine hit of action. You see another C-grade setup. You hesitate for a moment, the voice of reason whispering, "This isn't your edge." But the louder voice of boredom screams, "Just do something! You're wasting time!" You take the trade. You lose again. Now boredom has turned into frustration. You've taken 2 small losses, and you feel like you need to make it back. This is the gateway to the third form of negative effort, but it was all born from the simple urge to be active. This is overtrading. It's trading not because your edge is present, but because you are present. It's forcing your will upon a market that is offering nothing. Think about it. A professional lion hunter doesn't spend her day shooting at rabbits and squirrels just to stay busy. She waits, conserving her energy, her focus, and her ammunition for the one high-probability opportunity. As a trader, your capital and your mental energy are your ammunition. Every time you take a low-quality trade out of boredom or a need to feel productive, you are wasting that precious ammunition. You are firing at shadows. The intense effort of constantly scanning, hunting, and clicking doesn't make you a better trader. It makes you a poorer one, chipping away at your account and your confidence with every pointless little trade. This is the most destructive form of negative effort. It's where the small mistakes born from analysis paralysis and overtrading snowball into catastrophic ones. It happens when trading ceases to be a game of probabilities and becomes a personal battle between you and the market. It begins with a loss. Maybe it was a well-executed trade that just didn't work out, or maybe it was a foolish trade born from boredom. Regardless, you're in the red. Your ego is bruised. The market, this impersonal entity of flashing numbers, has just told you that you were wrong, and you can't stand it. Instead of accepting the loss as a business expense and moving on, you feel an overwhelming compulsion to prove the market wrong, to get your money back right now. This is the birth of revenge trading. You throw your rules out the window. You double your position size, thinking, I'll make it all back in one shot. You jump back into the same market that just stopped you out, trying to force it to go your way. You are no longer analyzing. You are gambling. You are no longer executing a plan. You are acting on raw, unfiltered emotion. You are, in essence, punching a brick wall. The wall doesn't care. It doesn't feel your anger. It only feels the impact. And the one who ends up with a broken hand is you. Every decision is now dictated by the previous loss. You see a tiny green candle and you jump in long, desperate for relief, only to see it reverse and make a new low. You're now in a deeper hole. Panic sets in. You might double down again, adding to your losing position, praying for a reversal. You have completely abandoned your role as an objective observer and have become a desperate participant in a fight you cannot win. This is the ultimate form of negative effort. It's an immense, all-consuming expenditure of emotional and financial capital that achieves the exact opposite of its intention. You are trying with every fiber of your being to fix the problem, but your very effort is the problem. You are trapped in a feedback loop of failure, where each frantic action only digs your grave deeper. The day ends and you look at your account statement, devastated. A single, manageable loss has turned into a day or even a week of wiped-out progress, and it all happened because you tried too hard. You couldn't let go. You couldn't accept. You chose to fight instead of flow. These three demons, analysis paralysis, overtrading, and revenge trading, are the children of a single flawed belief that your effort can control the market. But it can't. The market is an ocean. Your effort is like trying to change the tides by splashing furiously in the water. All you do is tire yourself out and risk drowning. It's time for a new approach. It's time to learn how to build a boat, read the currents, and sail. We have seen the enemy. We have looked into the abyss of negative effort and recognized the patterns that have kept us trapped. Now we begin the most important journey a trader can take, the journey to build a new identity. This isn't about learning a new indicator or a secret strategy. It's about a fundamental, seismic shift in your entire philosophy of trading. It's about truly, deeply embracing the idea that less is more. I want you to hold a powerful image in your mind. On one side, you have a soldier with a machine gun. He's standing in a field, spraying bullets in every direction. The noise is deafening, the action is frantic. He fires hundreds, even thousands of rounds. He feels powerful, active, engaged in the fight. But his target is far away, and his aim is indiscriminate. He might hit something by pure luck, but he wastes an enormous amount of ammunition, creates a lot of noise, and exposes his position. This is the overtrader. This is the trader driven by negative effort. On the other hand, you have a sniper. She is perched in a hidden location, miles away. For hours, she might do nothing. She lies perfectly still, her breathing slow and controlled. She observes. She waits. Her entire existence is a study in patience. She isn't bored, she is focused. She isn't inactive, she is engaged in the highest form of strategic waiting. She ignores the rabbits, the birds, and the deer. She is waiting for one thing, and one thing only, the high-value target to walk directly into her crosshairs under the perfect conditions. When that moment comes, there is no hesitation. There is no doubt. There is only a single, calm breath and the gentle squeeze of the trigger. One shot, one kill. She accomplishes her mission with maximum efficiency and minimum risk. This is the identity you must adopt. You are a sniper. Your A-plus trading setup, the one that meets every single one of your rules, is your high-value target. Everything else, all the B-grade and C-grade setups, all the market noise, all the tempting wiggles, are just distractions, designed to make you waste your precious ammunition, which is your capital and your mental clarity. Adopting this identity changes everything. You stop seeing a slow market day as a source of frustration and start seeing it as a professional necessity. It's the time you are meant to be observing, waiting, and conserving your strength. You stop feeling guilty for not taking a trade for 3 days straight. Instead, you feel proud. You're demonstrating the discipline of a professional. You understand that your job is not to trade a lot. Your job is to trade well. And trading well means waiting for the overwhelming odds to be in your favor. The machine gunner finds glory in the action. The sniper finds glory in the outcome. To become the sniper, you must fundamentally redefine what you consider to be work. Our society has conditioned us to believe that work looks like visible activity. It's typing, talking, moving, doing. In trading, this definition is poison. The real work of a professional trader is largely invisible. The real work is doing the hard thing of sitting on your hands when every impulse is telling you to jump in. The real work is shutting down your computer after one good trade and walking away, fighting the greed that whispers, maybe there's more. The real work is taking a loss without flinching, closing the trade, and analyzing the mistake, if there was one, with cold objectivity instead of hot emotion. The real work is the hours you spend away from the live market, reviewing your journal, refining your rules, and studying your own psychological patterns. The real work is having the discipline to follow your plan, even when it's boring, especially when it's boring. Your new job description is not market analyst or button clicker. Your new job description is chief executive of my trading plan. Your primary function is not to predict the market, but to execute your predefined system with flawless discipline. That's it. When you make this shift, your entire perspective on the trading day changes. You no longer measure a day's success by your profit or loss. That is an outcome, and you cannot directly control outcomes. Instead, you begin to measure your success by your process. You end the day and ask yourself one simple question. Did I follow my rules today? If the answer is yes, you had a successful day. Period. Even if you lost money. Why? Because you strengthened the single most important muscle in trading, the muscle of discipline. You reinforced a habit that will make you win. And you know with absolute certainty that if you continue to execute your positive expectancy plan with discipline over a large series of trades, the profits will inevitably follow. They are a byproduct of correct process. Conversely, if you broke your rules and made a lot of money, you had an unsuccessful day. You may have won the battle, but you reinforced a habit that will make you lose the war. You taught your brain that indiscipline is rewarded, a lesson that the market will eventually correct in the most painful way possible. Gaining deep, genuine satisfaction from following your process, from being the sniper, is the holy grail of trading psychology. When you no longer need the market to give you a winning trade to feel good about yourself, you have become free. You have removed your ego from the equation, and you can finally operate as the cool, calm professional you were always meant to be.
Patience is not passive. It is not empty time. In the world of the sniper trader, patience is an active and aggressive weapon. It is the deliberate act of refusing to engage in battles you are not likely to win. It is the strategic conservation of resources. It is the ultimate expression of confidence in your edge. Think of it this way. Every dollar in your trading account represents an opportunity. It is a soldier in your army. When you sit in cash, waiting, your entire army is safe, rested, and ready to be deployed with maximum force when the perfect battle presents itself. The moment you enter a low-probability trade, you are sending your soldiers into a reckless skirmish. You are risking them for a small, uncertain gain. Many of them will not return. The impatient trader is a poor general, constantly bleeding his army in pointless fights. The patient trader is a grand master, preserving his forces until he sees a move that guarantees checkmate. Embracing inaction means understanding that in trading, your default state should be flat. Your natural position is to be out of the market, observing from the sidelines. You are paid to wait for the fat pitch, the obvious opportunity. You are not paid to swing at every ball that comes over the plate. This requires a profound shift in mindset. You must learn to love the quiet. You must find peace in the observation. How do you do this? You develop rituals. You have your pre-market routine where you define the conditions you are looking for. Once the market opens, your only job is to see if those conditions materialize. If they don't, your job is done. You can set an alert for your key price level and physically walk away from the screen. Go for a walk, read a book, do anything else. Let technology be your scout. You don't need to be on the front lines all day. When you truly understand this, a huge weight is lifted from your shoulders. The pressure to perform every single day vanishes. The anxiety of watching every tick dissolves. You are no longer a slave to the screen. You are the master of your own engagement with the market. You have discovered that true power in trading doesn't come from constant action, but from the deliberate and purposeful choice of when not to act. Understanding the philosophy is the first step, but we must translate this new identity into a concrete daily practice. An identity is not just what you believe, it's what you do. Here are 4 practical, actionable steps to strip away negative effort and begin trading from a place of calm, disciplined, and effortless flow. The first enemy we identified was analysis paralysis, born from overwhelming complexity. The antidote is radical simplicity. It is time to perform a strategic decluttering of your trading. Look at your charts. How many indicators do you have? Be honest. Do you truly understand what each one is telling you and how they work together? Or did you just add them because you saw someone else using them? I want you to conduct an experiment. For the next month, commit to using no more than 2 or 3 indicators. Maybe just pure price action and volume. Your goal is to have a chart that you can interpret in less than 5 seconds. It should be clean, clear, and unambiguous. This is not about dumbing down your analysis. It's about concentrating it. A master chef can create a world-class dish with just a few high-quality ingredients. A novice cook throws everything in the pantry into the pot, creating an inedible mess. Be the master chef. The same goes for your trading rules. You don't need a 50-page manual. You need a simple 1-page checklist. What are the 3 to 5 non-negotiable criteria that must be met for you to even consider putting on a trade? Write them down. Laminate the paper. Put it on your desk. This is your constitution. If a setup does not tick every single box, you are constitutionally forbidden from taking the trade. No exceptions. Simplicity breeds clarity. Clarity breeds confidence. Confidence breeds decisive action when it's needed, and disciplined inaction when it's not. By stripping away the non-essential, you allow your true edge to shine through. You stop looking for confirmation from a dozen conflicting sources and start trusting the simple, powerful signals of your own refined plan.
A sniper knows their rules of engagement before they ever enter the field. They know the exact conditions, the specific target profile, and the acceptable level of risk. You must do the same. This goes beyond your entry checklist. This is about managing your entire trading day. First, define your business hours. The market may be open 24/7, but you are not. The highest probability opportunities often occur during specific high-volume windows. Maybe it's the first 2 hours after the open. Trade only during those hours. When the clock strikes, you are done. No one last look. Close the platform. This prevents the fatigue and boredom that lead to bad decisions in the slow, chalky parts of the day. Second, implement a daily circuit breaker. This is a hard stop loss on your day, not just on a single trade. It could be based on a dollar amount. Like, if I am down $500, I stop trading for the day. Or on a number of consecutive losses. Like, if I take 2 losses in a row, my day is over. This is your emergency brake. It makes it mathematically impossible to fall into a revenge trading spiral and blow up your account in a single disastrous session. It is the single most effective tool for long-term survival. Third, define your win conditions. This is just as important. For example, if I hit my daily profit target, or if I land one high-quality A-plus trade, I am done for the day. This is how you combat greed. The amateur wants to press their luck. The professional knows that the goal is not to maximize every single day, but to stack consistent, repeatable wins over time. Hitting your target and walking away is a massive psychological victory. It trains your brain to be satisfied with a solid professional gain and protects you from giving those profits back in the later hours. These rules are your armor. They protect you from your greatest enemy, your own emotional impulses in the heat of the moment.
How you end your day is just as important as how you start it. Most traders simply close their laptop when they are done, carrying the emotional baggage of the day, the wins, the losses, the frustrations, with them. The professional has a shutdown ritual. This ritual is a clear boundary that separates
your trading self from your personal self. It allows you to decompress, process the day objectively, and return tomorrow with a clean slate. Your shutdown ritual should have two parts. The first is journaling. You must log every trade you took. But don't just log the numbers. Write down your psychological state. Why did you enter? Why did you exit? Were you feeling patient, anxious, greedy, or fearful? Were you following your plan? This is your daily debrief. It's where you uncover your patterns and identify areas for improvement. This turns every trading day, good or bad, into a valuable lesson. The second part is a physical act of closure. Once your journal is complete, you say a simple phrase out loud, like, "The trading day is over." Then you shut down your trading platform. Don't just minimize it, close it completely. Finally, you do something to physically and mentally change your state. Step outside for 5 minutes, do a short meditation, play a song. This act creates a definitive endpoint, preventing you from lingering on the charts and second-guessing your decisions. It tells your brain it's time to switch off and recharge. This is the final and most profound step. You must change your scorecard. As long as your primary measure of success is your daily P&L, you will remain on an emotional roller coaster. Money is the outcome, not the process. Instead, create a discipline scorecard. At the end of each day, you will grade yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, not on how much money you made, but on how well you followed your rules. Did you trade outside of your business hours? Deduct a point. Did you take a trade that didn't meet all of your checklist criteria? Deduct 2 points. Did you fail to honor your daily circuit breaker? Deduct 3 points. Did you revenge trade? You get a 0 for the day. Conversely, did you patiently wait for your A+ setup and not trade at all because it never appeared? You get a 10. That is a perfect day. Did you take a loss but followed your plan exactly? You get a 10. Did you hit your profit target and walk away? You get a 10. Your goal is no longer to make money every day. Your new goal is to get a discipline score of 8 or higher every single day. Focus on this. Obsess over this. Celebrate your high scores. This shift is transformative. It puts you back in control. You cannot control whether a perfectly executed trade will be a winner or a loser, but you have 100% control over your own discipline. By focusing on what you can control, you build a foundation of rock-solid habits. And over the long run, it is this foundation of discipline, not luck, not genius, not even a perfect strategy, that guarantees profitability.
We have traveled a long way together on this journey. We began on the hamster wheel, spinning with frantic, negative effort, convinced that the key to success was simply to run faster. We diagnosed the diseases of this approach, the paralysis of overanalysis, the slow bleed of overtrading, and the catastrophic self-destruction of revenge trading. Then we opened our minds to a new philosophy, a profound paradox. We replaced the image of the frantic machine gunner with the calm, patient, and deadly efficient sniper. We redefined our work, shifting our focus from the noise of activity to the quiet power of discipline. We learned that patience is not passive, but is in fact our greatest strategic weapon. And finally, we laid down a practical blueprint for this new identity: to simplify our strategy, to set strict rules of engagement, to master the art of the shutdown, and most importantly, to change the very way we measure success, from the chaotic whims of profit and loss to the steady, controllable metric of our own discipline. The path forward will not be easy. The myth of effort is buried deep within our culture and our own psychology. Your old habits will call to you. The siren song of just one more trade will be tempting. But you now possess the map. You now know the truth. The truth is that trading mastery is not found in fighting the market, it is found in aligning with it. It's about letting go of the need to be right on every trade and embracing the process of being profitable over the long term. The greatest profits you will ever experience in your career will not come on the days you are striving, stressing, and forcing your will. They will come on the days it feels almost effortless. The days you are in the flow, acting as a calm conduit for your well-honed edge. So I leave you with a choice. You can return to the hamster wheel, or you can begin the disciplined, patient practice of the sniper. I urge you to choose one thing from this video, just one step, and commit to practicing it for the next week. Maybe it's simplifying your charts. Maybe it's defining a hard stop for your day. Start small. Build the muscle. Because true freedom in the markets and in life is not about what you can gain, it's about what you're willing to let go of. Let go of the need for constant action. Let go of the need to be right. Let go of the belief that your struggle is your strength. Embrace the quiet. Embrace the patience. Embrace the paradox. Because the man who loves the walk will always walk further than the man who only loves the destination.